Welcome and thank you for joining us on Trending Now USA. I'm Bella, and today we are following a developing story capturing attention across the global tennis community. The focus centers on two major figures in the sport, Elena Rybakina and Coco Gauff. A recent exchange involving tournament remarks, post-match interviews, and responses made through media interactions has sparked conversation about competition, consistency, and professional identity in the modern era of women's tennis. This story is not framed as controversy for entertainment value. Rather, it is being examined because the exchange highlights something meaningful about the current landscape of women's tennis, a sport experiencing a shift in power dynamics, public confidence, communication style, and competitive rivalry. At the center of this narrative are two athletes who represent different strengths, different journeys, and different tennis philosophies. The moment drawing attention began when Coco Gauff made remarks during an interview at a recent tournament. When asked about what separates consistent contenders from periodic champions, Gauff spoke about the need for reliability across surfaces and throughout the season. Her wording referenced the idea that some top players experience strong weeks, followed by periods when their performance temporarily dips or they withdraw due to physical issues. She explained that, in her opinion, consistency is what defines long-term champions. Her comment did not mention Elena Rybakina by name. However, the timing of the statement coincided closely with ongoing discussions within tennis circles about the fluctuating visibility of certain top-ranked athletes due to illness, injury, or scheduling changes. Rybakina, who has experienced interruptions due to health challenges and seasonal downtime, quickly became a focal point of interpretation. Whether intentional or coincidental remains unclear, but the reception online framed the remarks as indirectly referring to her. Shortly after those comments circulated, Elena Rybakina addressed similar topics in a separate media interaction. In response to a question about outside opinions regarding her schedule and competitive rhythm, Rybakina stated that she prefers to allow her results to speak on her behalf. Her tone was calm, measured, and professional. The remark did not mention Gauff, nor did it escalate the situation. However, it was interpreted by fans, commentators, and analysts as a response aligned with Gauff's earlier statements. Though subtle, the timing and phrasing created a clear line of connection between the two discussions. What makes this situation noteworthy is not the possibility of disagreement or rivalry. Professional sports regularly feature strong viewpoints, confidence-based statements, and layered communication. Instead, the reason this story has gained momentum is because it reflects larger themes present in the current competitive era of women's tennis: pressure surrounding ranking expectations, the mental resilience required for consistent performance, and differing philosophies about how athletes should navigate public dialogue in an increasingly media-driven environment. Both players involved in this developing story have well-defined athletic identities. Coco Gauff has been recognized for her defensive skill, remarkable court coverage, psychological poise, and steady upward progression at the professional level. She has become known for resilience under pressure, adaptability mid-match, and an ability to recover from difficult scorelines. Her growth has been consistent, measurable, and structured. Gauff has shown commitment to technical development, including improvements to her serve mechanics, forehand stability, and shot tolerance in long rallies. Elena Rybakina is known for a different profile: high-impact defensive tennis, power-based shot-making, precision serving, and aggressive point construction. Her playing style allows her to assert control early in rallies, apply pace from both wings, and dictate tempo against even the most defensively skilled opponents. When she is performing at her peak, her game can break through rhythm-oriented defensive strategies and shorten points before opponents settle into return patterns. Statistically, both players have valid claims to their positions in the conversation. Coco Gauff's results over the past 2 seasons illustrate consistency across tournaments and playing surfaces. Her presence within later tournament stages has become increasingly reliable. This upward trend aligns with her comments regarding consistency and its role in defining elite status. On the other side, Rybakina's decision to let results speak is also rooted in verifiable competitive achievements. She has defeated top-ranked opponents, performed strongly in high-stakes environments, and demonstrated a capacity to produce tennis at a level few current players can match. Her peaks represent some of the highest quality performance outputs on the professional women's tour. From an analytical standpoint, this situation reflects a key tension present in elite sports, whether consistent presence is more valuable than exceptional peaks. Some commentators argue that athletes who reach their highest level, even if intermittently, can shift the competitive field dramatically. Others argue that sustained visibility, endurance, schedule reliability, and steady ranking positioning define true competitive dominance. The rivalry element between these two players is emerging gently rather than explosively. Their on-court history includes matches that demonstrate contrasting strengths. Rybakina's serve and flat pace can sometimes disrupt Gauff's rhythm-based patterns. Meanwhile, Gauff's athletic defense and strategic patience can challenge Rybakina when rallies extend beyond first-strike territory. This contrast makes any potential future match between them highly anticipated, regardless of ranking shifts or media conversation. Psychologically, this exchange brings attention to the role of confidence language in professional tennis. Athletes are increasingly encouraged to speak confidently about their goals, identity, and expectations. In previous eras, many players operated under a culture of privacy and subtlety regarding competition. Today's media environment amplifies every statement, intentional or not, and assigns meaning beyond original context. Both athletes maintain professionalism in their remarks. There were no personal references, disrespectful language, or direct confrontations. Instead, the tension exists in interpretation rather than explicit communication. Analysts have suggested that this moment may influence how athletes navigate public statements moving forward. The modern tennis environment exists in a space where honesty, media presence, and competitive psychology intersect. From a strategic standpoint, this development may influence tour dynamics. Rivalries often contribute to stronger performances, sharpened competitive focus, and increased preparation specificity. When athletes are aware that their progress is being publicly compared with another contender, their approach in practice, scheduling, and tactical planning may shift. There is also interest in how governing bodies, teams, and sports psychologists will interpret the story. External narratives can influence internal response. Some athletes use public commentary as motivation, while others prefer to remain unaffected. Both Rybakina and Gauff have demonstrated mental strength in high-pressure environments, suggesting neither will treat this exchange as disruptive. Looking ahead, analysts are now watching three areas closely: future matchups between the players, upcoming press conferences where follow-up questions may arise, and potential shifts in public narrative depending on tournament outcomes in the coming months. If these athletes meet on court in the near future, coverage will likely include additional scrutiny because competition often resolves speculation more clearly than dialogue. This story may also shape broader discussions about expectations placed on athletes competing at the highest level. The idea of consistency versus peak performance is not new, but this moment has revived the conversation with renewed relevance. Tennis history includes champions who dominated through consistent presence and others who defined eras through exceptional but spacing performances. Both paths have been legitimate, and both have produced legends. As the tennis season progresses, attention will continue toward how both athletes perform and respond. For now, the story remains grounded not in conflict, but in perspective. Two players with differing approaches and communication styles have contributed statements that the public has connected, but neither appears interested in escalating the situation. This moment serves as a reminder that tennis is not only physical competition, it is also narrative, identity, and evolving professionalism. It shows how statements can travel once released into the public sphere, and how the modern tennis environment differs from earlier decades where media reach was more limited and interpretation more controlled. What remains clear is that both Coco Gauff and Elena Rybakina hold significant influence in the present and future of women's tennis. Their performance paths, ranking positions, and emerging rivalry represent a compelling storyline in a sport currently experiencing rapid evolution in talent depth, athletic training, and competitive mentality. We will continue following developments, results, and statements as they unfold. For now, both players remain focused on competition rather than discourse. Their next appearances on court are expected to command attention regardless of whether further commentary occurs. This has been Bella with Trending Now USA. Thank you for watching.